I'm Full Renegade, and the time that we have been waiting for is here at last. The Konosuba Fantastic Days collaboration between Konosuba and Danmachi Memorial Freeze has finally been announced. This is the second collab that we've had in Konosuba Fantastic Days, and it follows a slightly different format than the previous one. There will be a new kind of event with this called a dungeon, in which you will be able to delve and get more rewards, which we'll talk about later. There will be 4 units, which will be Aqua, who is a light unit, Darkness, who is a wind unit, and Ais, who is another wind unit. They will be in the gacha, while Cranel and Hestia, will be the welfare unit for this event. Sadly, there is no Alt V2 that has been announced yet, because that would really help out some of these units, but we still should have a lot of fun things to do during this collab. We'll go over some of the collab units first. We'll talk about Ais, the Wind Adventurer first. She is the real prize on this banner and is extremely strong. This is going to be the sunset for mages as their complete dominance of the meta, and Ais will be leading physical into a new era. She will be a great unit in wind to the point where you won't be able to rank it all without her, but she's so strong that she can be used cross-element. The exception here is in fire, as wind is resisted there, and most of Ais' damage is typed as wind damage. She will be our new meta queen and will be placed in the triple S tier. In something new for global, Ais' basic ability has an effect attached to it. Instead of just dealing damage, it also has the potential to hit harder if she is at high health. This is relatively new for global, but we'll begin to see this on many units moving forward. The second thing she has is on her first skill, she has a tier 3 agility buff. Now, this is selfish, it won't apply to your whole team, but that tier 3 agility buff, much like the tier 3 agility buff that Aqua can grant herself, causes Ais to absolutely go nuts and deal massive amounts of damage. It is still key to keep her healthy because of that conditional basic, but she's going to be dealing a lot of damage. Her second skill also has an HP conditional, and even better, it also has a gauged fill attached to it. Basically, she's going to be the Christmas whiz for physical units. She provides a great deal of utility, especially since her ultimate also provides a tier 3 physical attack buff for your whole team. She also hits hard, and she's going to lead physical teams into the meta and finally bring some variety. There will be many elements where mages are still either competitive or better, but thanks to Ais, we're going to see a resurgence of physical teams. Next is Darkness. She has a unique ability for the Danmachi Darkness, and that she always hits. Yes, really. She goes from effectively 0% accuracy to being the most accurate unit in the game. Her basic has a tier 1 physical attack buff that's just for her. It's kind of forgettable, but it can have some use. Her second skill is an AoE that has an earth resist buff, so that just cuts all earth damage that your team would take. And her skill 3 just is a single target that hits quite hard. Now, all that sounds great, but the reality is her best use is going to be as a sub for Ais, which is rather unfortunate. She really needs her alt version 2, which is the Mask alt, which will give her a strong physical attack and agility buff and allow her to actually deal some impressive damage. She's not worthless though. The second version of her alt does have a very strong damage cut on it, and it has a tier 3 physical attack buff for the party. The issue is, Ais just does what this Darkness does better. There isn't a real reason to take Darkness over Ais, and most of the time, because Ais takes Darkness subs, and this Darkness is the only one with a physical attack up trait that we have at the moment, she's just going to be Ais' sub. She's B tier and off meta, but you can actually use her, and in wind, if you don't have Ais, you can get pretty strong results. Next up, we have Bestia Aqua, who is of the light element, and she probably does make Kazuma's heart go doki doki. She only has vanilla basic attacks, unlike Ais or Darkness. Her skill 1 is an AoE, but it has a tier 3 party physical attack buff, which is very good. Her second is an HP conditional single target, so it deals more damage when she's selfie, and it has 20% ult gauge fill on it. This is amazing. Both of her skills provide strong buffs, and, combined with her alt, makes this Aqua very strong. Now the problem we run into here is that this Aqua competes with Yunyun and RPRU, who are a very strong core for a light team, and which many people have already acquired. However, she can be used to make a very good light physical team, one I'd put on par with that. She doesn't have any healing ability, she's pure damage. God Blow version 2 is a superb ult for her, providing a tier 3 agility buff to go with her tier 3 physical attack buff. Even though the agility buff will be selfish, this is still strong enough to make her work. I think she's going to work. She's going to be A tier, and light physical will be a thing. You can use her with Iris and RP Kazuma. Wait for Arabian Chris for this team to really get going. And of course, you can use Ais on it, as she's just a fantastic monster for physical teams. Next up, we have the Shota who makes the world go round. Belle and Best Girl Hestia, who Belle needs to wake up and figure out he loves her already. Anyway, Belle is a fire unit, and he takes Kazuma subs. He is the welfare unit and will be attained from the event quest this time around. He's not quite on the level of Amelia, sadly. He does have the first cooldown cut what we'll have. That's really good. He's a hybrid unit. He deals some magic damage, and he's kind of similar to Ren from the last collab. Although I will say between Rem and Belle, he's probably the better unit. Belle has vanilla physical damage on his basic. His skill 1, however, deals magic damage, but it debuffs physical defense, providing a very good tier 3 physical defense down. His second skill has a debuff conditional, meaning it deals more damage if the enemy is debuffed, and it has a 4-second cooldown cut. What that basically means is, for all of your active units, their skill's cooldown will be decreased by 4 seconds. This doesn't overflow, it'll just put the skill as active if there's less than 4 seconds to go. His ult takes longer to charge, and it deals basic normal damage, but it does always crit. It's pretty high damage. However, I'm skeptical of Belle. The issue is, he's in an element that's fire, and it's gonna still be a playground for mages. Wismus and Megamine, combined with Halloween Union or Swimsuit Rin, are just so strong. I don't think there's the other elements that fire really needs to be a physical element right now. You can try running him with Fire Mitsurugi and perhaps original Erika, but I still don't think the team is quite there yet. It's gonna need a couple more pieces, and I'm gonna put Belle in B tier for now. The real issue is you can't use Ais effectively in this element, as Ais is wind element, and this is the element where wind is at a disadvantage. Alright, I'm going to take a moment here and go over some of the special things for the event. Hold on just a second. Let me pull that up. And, alright, here we go. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand that I'm never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but too shy to say it. Inside we both know what's been going on. We know the game and we're gonna play it. And if you ask me how I'm feeling, don't tell me you're too blind to see. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Alright, well, I think that was very informative for all of us. Now, I'm just gonna switch back here to serious mode so people who skip to the end of the video don't miss out on the surprise. Alright, that's the video. Thanks for watching. The Konosuba Fantastic Days Danmachi collab will only be here for 2 weeks, so make sure to get those units while you can. This is one of the most important banners we've seen, and is definitely the best banner that we've seen since Christmas Wiz. and will usher in a new era of physical dominance for Konosuba Fantastic Days.